Alright, so Eye in the Sky by Alan Parsons. This one is off of the album of the same name, which was released in 1982. And it's just another really good song of his. And another great guitar solo, like I did Wouldn't Want to Be Like You earlier. And I felt I should do this one too, because the solo was really good in this one. Of course, Alan Parsons, you know, engineered with the Beatles and also Pink Floyd. And this album was actually recorded at Abbey Road Studios. So there's a big Beatles, Pink Floyd connection here with him. And yeah, you can definitely hear it in the music. Anyway, so I'll just kind of show you the actual chords of the song before I get into the solo. So we're in the key of like D, B minor kind of thing, okay? So we're going to start in B minor, and it's just, the guitar is just, it's just kind of chunking away, you know, on those root 5 power chord type things. And the keyboard is like, it's kind of doing that line there, right? Which is just, you know, we're hammering on. It's like a D chord, like that, you know. Normally you'd play it that way, but if you bar there, put your finger here, then you can manipulate it easier. So it's, right? Okay, just B string, A string there. That's the first line. Then the next line is, we've got the root and the third from the G chord, right? You know, if you want to play that part, if you know, if you don't have a keyboard player in your band, you can still play this song, no problem. So, you know, one guy is like this. And the other guy is, right? Okay, so, and then it eventually, it does that twice, B minor G twice, and then it's the verse, right? Okay, now we got a G6, then a G minor 6, right? Changing from that to that, you know, right? And then we got a B minor to E7, and D, and then G, right on part. So the melody is hitting that major 7, so you can play a G major 7 there too, right? So I'm just doing it that way. You could do it like that too, right? Adding those two notes, or you could do that. And then it eventually gets to the chorus. F sharp minor. And then we G6 again, G minor 6, back to the intro, right? And that's what the guitar solo is over. So all this stuff repeats a bunch of times, but that's the basic like layout of it. And there's tons of stuff going on. You know, there's probably like, I don't know, 6 or 7 guitar tracks and 3 or 4 or 5 keyboard parts and harmonies and just tons of stuff going on. And the solo is, yeah, it's just over this B minor to G, just over and over. And the keyboard there is going like this. We've got like, it's G6 and B5. It's like an A chord, but the 3rd and the 5th. Up to a D, the root and the third, right? B minor, root and third. Back to your first chord. And then A, but A, root, and third, right? So we've got, and then to G, right? Just open G and open B. And that just repeats throughout the whole solo, except for the first part where he goes like this. So that's like an A, it's like an A over B. But I just did it with these two notes. And just a little grace note on that D4. So, and then you get into this, because we're in G in the chord cycle. And then that just repeats over and over. So this is what you're soloing over. And then there's another guitar part in there, and see if I can get it. It's an oddball, and it's just like, that's what I'm hearing there, okay? It's kind of hard to pick it off, but I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. So it's a weird chord shape. We've got our little finger on G6 and our middle finger on G4, because we're alternating those, right? And then we actually don't need to bar that whole thing. We just need the D note there. It takes me a second to get this because it's like I never play this. And then you got your third finger on E5. And then you just repeating. And when I was doing my demo, I did this part. I did that for like a minute and a bit, and I tell you, man, my hand was about to fall off. You know, the tendons in here just absolutely getting crushed. So that's what you're soloing over. I'm just going to change over my sound, and we're going to start the solo. Okay, so now we're ready for the solo, and again, it's Ian Berenson playing this part, and he's really a good guitar player. This is a great solo. It's a great one to learn, even if you're not playing this anywhere anytime soon, because you can learn so much about how to construct a solo, how to use arpeggios. We're in B minor, right? So we're going to start out down here. That's kind of your arpeggios, right? And then your pentatonic shape, right? Okay, so that's what you got to sort of keep in mind. So he's going to start out like this. And that's just on D2. And a little, almost like a quarter step bend. Right? To the open D. Hammer on, then to the B note. And what I'll do is I will get that G string with my middle finger there and just hold it so I'm not getting any noise, right? Like if I don't hold it, you can get a little overtone there. But if you hold on to it, you got nothing. Nice and clean, right? That's the first one. And then he goes, and so it's, right? 4/5 and then A to the A on G2, and just hold, right? And then, right? That's what we're going, but with a bend. The next one is, so, right? That's like the third of the B minor to the root. Okay, so and now you start the solo, and we're going to start it like this. And right away, that's just really, really good, right? So we've got, I always like to kind of envision these solos based around the chord, right? So if I can play it like with my hand in that chord shape, that's kind of what's happening there, right? Like, so you can see it's all notes in the chord, arpeggios, right? So, but he's playing it like a lead guitar player. Full step bend on B5 to G3, and then just B5. Then we've got this B minor 7 arpeggio. And remember that, because that's coming up again, right? So, and then he hits the E note on D2, but it's in passing, right? So, and then we do the exact same arpeggio an octave lower, right? A, F sharp, D, and B. That's very cool, right? Really smart playing. Now we're going to go, right? Which is, the chords have changed now. We're on this G major 7-ish kind of chord, right? So we're going to do a G major 7 arpeggio. We're starting on the F sharp, which is the major 7. And we're going to the G note, and then the third of the G chord, right? Then the fifth. So, and then we're going to hit the A note, which is actually the 9th. Okay, so it's actually, you know, turning into a G major 9 arpeggio. Because we're sort of hitting that there, which is the major 7th again. I hope this isn't too boring, but you know, the theory behind some of these solos to me is like it's awesome, and it shows you that, you know, theory is not something to be intimidated by. Theory can help you big time, right? You know, once you kind of get what's going on, you can use it to your advantage, and you can come up with these awesome sounding solos. Okay, so let's just do it so far. And then we're going to climb by going just D, A, E, A, right? And then slide up to B7 to E5. So, right, then 7, 8, and then 7 on B on E. We're back to the G chord there. That's all on the G chord, and then the B minor chord. We're gonna bend here, and now we're thinking, you know, B minor pentatonic position 1. It's just like we know this, right? But we're going. Right? That's the minor third of the B minor. To the 7th. And I think he's doing that. He's hammering that on. You don't have to. You could go, you know, or slide it in there, right? But I think he's going. And then, right? Or, same thing, you get that note there. But I went and raked into that. And then slide that down. It's so cool. So far, like this, just, what is this? Like, how many bars is that? I don't know, 4, 6? I don't know. But just in this short amount of time, you can learn a ton of stuff by learning the solo. So let's take it from the beginning of the solo. So. When I recorded this on my demo, I had my compressor on, which I don't have on now, so I was getting a little more sustain, and I think I had a bit more gain too. But okay, so that's so far. Now we're going to go. Okay, again, a super cool lick. So we're kind of getting that, but with a bend. E string, B string on the 7th fret. So, and then we're going to finish it off by going, right? Really nice. Ending on that minor 3rd. Moving on. G6, B7, G7. And then, okay, so that's G, what is it? 6, B7, A9. Sliding up to the B note on D9. And then, right, so it's important to slide up that first finger there, and then 3rd finger here. You know, maybe just practice that, because that bend there is absolutely crucial. All the bends, you know, in this song, actually in everything you ever play, you know, bending is huge. If you're bending flat or sharp, it's just going to sink the ship immediately, right? So bending to pitch is like a big, big deal with guitar playing. Right? And we're going to catch the E10 with our little finger, so. Then we let the bend go, and we do that, right? That's like those 6 that I always talk about. So, go down 2 frets. Okay, then we're up here in that sort of 2nd position of the pentatonic, B minor pentatonic. Right? And we kind of hit that note. We're doing that, but with a bend, right? We kind of establish the pitch. And then we do the vibrato. And then it starts to fade out. And but I'll show you what I did after that. it just kind of, you can barely hear them on the record. Right, and if you know your Cage stuff, then you can see that's right there, right? That's your B minor, D-shaped B minor chord, right? Right? And then I just carried it on and went. You're just putting in more sort of blues legs. Right? And then I went kind of stealing a bit of David Gilmour there, right? So we're bending full and then going past it. That's what we're going for, but with bends. And then just 14, 10, 12, 7, right? Then you're just kind of improvising and doing whatever you want. And these are great changes to play over, you know. Really, really nice playing over that B minor to G. Okay, and that's it. So let's do that whole solo. Whatever you want from there on in, right? So anyways, that's it for this one. This is just an excellent solo, and it's a lesson, you know, in lead guitar playing and arpeggios, and playing with feel and moving around the neck, like that lick there, you know, where he goes from the beginning, really. I mean, that is covering an enormous amount of ground with very few notes, right? And really just great guitar playing, really clever and really melodic, and just fits exactly the mood of the song. So, all right, so I hope you get something out of this. I hope you enjoy playing this song and playing this solo, and we'll talk to you next time.